I'm your Italian teacher Claudia, and I'm very happy to start this new journey with you. So I hope you enjoyed Italian for Beginners, Course 1, and now we're gonna experience something different. So we're gonna deepen our knowledge of the Italian language. So what is the best way to start? The past tense, il passato. So I have some bad news. Unfortunately, the past tense is not that easy as in English. I mean, it's quite easy, it's just you have to change your way to express things. But I'm going to explain everything about it in just a bit. So first of all, we have two main kinds of past. The first one is Passato Prossimo. It literally means the next past. Il passato prossimo. Its structure is not that difficult because it actually corresponds to the structure of the present perfect in English. So you need to use the verb to have or to be plus the past participle of the verb. So as you might have noticed, you have the option. You have the verb to have or the verb to be. When do you have to choose the verb to have and when do you have to choose the verb to be? Well, actually, the verb to have is chosen when we have a transitive verb, okay? If the verb is not transitive, then you need to use the verb to be. And that's done. How about the past participle in Italian? So, as always, we have regular and irregular verbs. Of course, I'm going to show you the irregular verbs, but in general, for the regular ones, to do the past participle, the only thing you need to do is to take the verb root, so the parts of the verb without are, ere, or ire, and you just need to attach some endings. So for example, the ending for the verbs that end with are and the regular is ato, A-T-O. The ending for the verbs that end with ere and the regular is uto, U-T-O. And the ending for the verbs of the third group, so the verbs that end with ire, is ito, I-T-O in English. Okay? But don't worry about it, now it's just theory, but we're gonna see tons of examples to make it more clear. So let's see two examples with the use of the verb to have or the verb to be. The first example, ho mangiato. This is passato prossimo. You have the verb to have and you have the past participle of the verb mangiare. As you might have noticed, and as we have already said in course 1, mangiare is a regular verb. So you take the verb root, mangi, and you attach the ending of the past participle, ato. Ho mangiato. Okay? And you can either translate it as the present perfect, so I have eaten, or the simple past, I ate. It's actually the same in Italian. Let's see an example with the verb to be. So an example of intransitive verb, like andare. Okay? We have seen that andare is very irregular at the present, but when it comes to the past, it actually becomes regular. So the past participle of the verb andare is andato. Okay? I have gone or I went, sono andato. Because andare is an intransitive verb, so it needs to be and not to have. Okay? Is everything clear? As I really want to remind you that now it's all theory, but seriously, we're gonna have tons of examples and you'll see that it will become pretty easy. So we use the passato prossimo to express a past action or event. It literally corresponds to the simple past, okay? Or the present perfect. Example. Yesterday we talked at the restaurant. Ieri abbiamo parlato al ristorante. Parlare, regular verb that ends with are. Its past participle is parlato. And it's transitive, so you use to have. Abbiamo parlato. Okay? Let's see some examples. Before starting, maybe it's a good idea to review the conjugation of the verb to have and to be, because we use it all the time when we're making the passato prossimo, sorry. So let's see the conjugation of the verb to have first. Io ho. Please repeat right after me. Tu hai. Lui or lei ha. Remember the age. Noi abbiamo. Voi avete. Essi or loro, it's the same, hanno with an H at the beginning. Okay? And now let's move to the verb to be. Essere. Io sono. Tu sei. Lui or lei è with an accent. Noi siamo. Voi siete. Loro sono. Okay? Did you remember the verb to have, the conjugation of the verb to have and the verb to be? Okay, awesome. So let's see the conjugation of a regular verb from the first group, so the verbs that end with are, in Passato Prossimo. Please repeat right after me. As we have said, it's a regular verb, so to make its past participle, the only thing you need to do is to take the verb root, parl, and you attach the ending for the verbs that end with are, ato. So, I talked or I have talked, ho parlato, tu hai parlato, lui or lei ha parlato, noi abbiamo parlato, voi avete parlato, loro hanno parlato. So, as you might have noticed, the past participle never changes. It's always the same. It's still parlato. The thing that changes is the verb to have. Example, andare. Okay? So here you might see some differences because when we use the verb to be for intransitive verbs, then you need to match the past participle. Is it a woman talking? Is it a man? Is it a group of women or is it a group of men? So let's see it. Io sono andato. So it's a man talking. If it's a woman, io sono andata with an A at the end. Same thing. Tu sei andato or tu sei andata. Lui or lei, same thing. È andato, lui, he. È andata, she, lei. Okay? And now let's move to the plural. So, noi siamo andati. We are a group of men or a group of men with some women. Noi siamo andate, group of women only. Okay? Same thing then. Voi siete andati or voi siete andate. Loro sono andati, loro sono andate. Okay? Is it clear? You need to adapt the past participle only when you're using to be. As we have seen, when you use to have, the past participle is always the same. Okay, so let's move on. At the beginning of the lesson, I told you that we have two main pasts. The first one is Passato Prossimo, but then we have the second one, called Imperfetto. Okay? In English, there is no real difference because it still corresponds to the simple past or the present perfect. But there is a slight difference in Italian. So how do we make the imperfetto? As usual, you take the verb root and then you attach some endings. Okay? Avo, for the verbs that end with are. Evo, E-V-O, like the oil, for the verbs that end with ere. And Ivo, for the words that end with ire. For example, I went or I have gone, andavo. Then, of course, in this case, you will need to conjugate the verb using the endings of the present. I know it might seem difficult now, but we're gonna see an example right away. So we use the imperfetto to express a regular action or event in the past. So there is this idea of repetition of something in the past. This is the basic idea, the core idea of the imperfetto. Example, we went to school every day. That was a repetition. You did that every day. So we need to use the imperfetto. Andavamo a scuola tutti i giorni. So you see how we conjugated andavo, the andavo that we have seen before. But let's see some examples to make it a little bit more clear. Let's take mangiare, one of the most regular verbs. So as I told you before, we take the verb root, mangi, and you attach the ending avo. So you get io mangiavo. But then you need to conjugate the verb. So you use the endings of the present. Tu mangiavi, lui, lei mangiava, noi mangiavamo. It's really the same endings that we have used like 1,000 times to conjugate the verbs in the present tense. Voi mangiavate, loro mangiavano. Okay? So let's see some examples now. You spent, for example. So we're going to see the example in Passato Prossimo and the example in Imperfetto. You spent as Passato Prossimo, hai passato. Transitive verb and it's regular. So you need to use the verb to have. Imperfetto, passavi, with an I at the end because I is the ending that corresponds to you in the present tense. They hoped, hanno, to hope is sperare. They hoped, hanno sperato. Imperfetto, speravano. So maybe the most difficult thing actually when talking about the imperfetto is the pronunciation, especially for they. Speravano. Okay? She sang, ha cantato. Imperfetto, cantava. Okay? They were. So as we all know, like most of the things, the verb to be is always irregular. And here we have a very good example. So, passato prossimo of the verb to be, they were, sono stati. Don't worry about it, we're gonna see its conjugation in the next lessons. Now, it's just to show you how it works. Imperfetto, erano. I saw, here we have another example of irregular verb, because to see is vedere. So, if the verb was regular, it would be veduto as the past participle, but it's irregular. So its past participle is visto. I saw, ho visto. Imperfetto, vedevo. Okay, now then it's all regular at the imperfetto. In general, there are no exceptions. We read, abbiamo letto. Here we have another irregular past participle. To read, leggere. So if it was regular, the past participle would be legguto, but it sounds really awful. So the past participle for the verb to read is letto, like bed, actually. Imperfetto, leggevamo. Watch out the accent, leggevamo. He drank, bere. Ha bevuto. So here we have a small exception. We have that letter V. Imperfetto, beveva. They left. Sono partiti. Past participle partito. From the verb partire, to leave, regular. Imperfetto, partivano. I understood. Ho capito. From the verb capire, so it's super regular. Imperfetto, capivo. You didn't take. So let's see a negative sentence. Here we don't have much difference from the present. The only thing you need to do is to place non in front of the verb. That doesn't change. But you might notice how the past participle of the verb prendere, to take, is irregular. It's not prenduto, but preso. So, you didn't take, non hai preso. Imperfetto, non prendevi. She had, ha avuto. So, funny enough, avere has a regular past participle. Imperfetto, aveva. You listened, hai ascoltato. Super regular, from the verb ascoltare, to listen. Imperfetto, ascoltavi. So let's do an exercise to practice mainly with the use of the passato prossimo and the imperfetto. So here you have some sentences and the only thing you need to do is to choose the passato prossimo or the imperfetto. I really recommend you to write these sentences down. I know that it's annoying, but writing really helps with the memory, okay? So take your time, just pause the video and resume it once you have finished the exercise. Okay? Let's do it. And here are the solutions. So as I told you before, sometimes it's a matter of different shade. So there are some cases where you can use the passato prossimo or the imperfetto. Okay? First example. Dove andavi a scuola? So here we use the imperfetto because that's a repetition. You didn't go to school for one day in your life only. You did it for years, okay? Mio padre non sapeva usare internet. Here it's really a matter of shade because maybe your dad didn't know how to use internet for like most of his life, or maybe it was just one-time experience. If it was a one-time experience, then you need to use the passato prossimo. Non ha saputo. Okay? But, you know, when you're talking, yes, it's better to pick the right form, but people will understand, okay, in either case. Ho visto mia zia ieri. So here you really need to use the passato prossimo because it was a one-time experience. Yesterday you went out, for example, and you met your aunt. Okay, it's not a repetition. Mi sono sposata il 7 marzo. I got married on March the 7th. That's a one-time experience in general, okay? Ho mangiato una pizza. I ate a pizza. So you pick the passato prossimo because I don't think that it might be an habit in your life to eat pizza every day. So maybe you are talking about last night maybe, last Saturday, I don't know. Okay? How did it go? Let's do another exercise. It's the very same thing. So you need to choose between the passato prossimo and the imperfetto. As I told you before, take your time, pause the video and resume it once you're ready. Okay? And here are the solutions. So, hai preso la macchina per andare al cinema? That's a question. And you use the passato prossimo, hai preso, because it was a one-time experience. You didn't go to the cinema every night. Maybe it was last night. Okay? Mia madre ha cucinato una zuppa per pranzo. Here we're talking about a very specific moment of the day. So the lunch of that day. So we need to use the passato prossimo because there is no repetition involved. Guardavo la TV ogni sera. Why do we pick the imperfetto? Because we have ogni sera, every night. So we have this idea of repetition. Ho lavato la cucina ieri. I cleaned the kitchen yesterday. One-time experience in the week, I hope not in your life. So we need to use the passato prossimo. Here, for example, we have one of those cases where you can either use the imperfetto or the passato prossimo, because it all depends on the shades of what you're saying. Ho avuto freddo nel mio ufficio oggi. So I was cold in my office today. But since it was a whole day, you know, it's kind of a repetition of hours, you could have used the imperfetto. It's still a little bit better to use the passato prossimo, but it wouldn't be a huge mistake if you use the imperfetto. Okay? If you feel overwhelmed, don't worry about it. Okay? It's totally normal, but you're gonna see we're gonna focus on the past tense for quite a few lessons, and at the end, it will be very clear. Okay? I promise. Awesome. So, complimenti, congratulations. You have just finished lesson 1 of course 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing you, even if just on screen, for the next lesson, and have a great day. Thank you for being with me. Ciao!